to our Magical Monday on the Tube of You on this fine and wonderful day. And I see, goodness gracious me, there's a ton of people joining us on the TikTok.
Could I see who's
yes,
here,
we're going there.
please?
We're going. Oh, God. Anybody think we're an old married couple?
Well, I keep asking you. All right, Sean, Gilda, Savannah, Carol.
Oh gosh, yes. Hello, everybody, pips, isn't it? Oh, there's a ton of peeps. And literally every time I'm late or forget, something happens, and then it just gets postponed.
Cass,
I think
Logan,
I'm on magical
Anna.
time. Gosh. So on the Tick of Talk, if you're watching us on the Tick of Talk, and I know people are, because I can see
Laura.
that. We have set a goal of Panther Claws today, and so send us a Panther Claw, and we'll do your reading on the Tick of Talk.
Happy Monday.
Monday. Monday.
Good morning to Sean,
and
Gilda,
Geraldine.
Savannah, Carol, Geraldine, Cass, Logan, Anna, Samaj, and Laura. Woo!
Hello, everybody. Pips, in it. So there you go. We surprisingly, for the first time in a couple of weeks, are actually on time and on the right date.
Oh my goodness, it's just been nutsy.
It's just...
Nutsy cuckoo.
And finally, I'd just like to say... Yes, and that's about the size of it.
I know I said that time was going to start accelerating, but we could hardly believe that it was already June. But now it's June 10th.
I know. It's so... What happened? I mean, it was.
Holy crap!
Wasn't it Memorial Day just like 10 seconds ago? Was that yesterday?
Yeah,
and now we're almost halfway
Hi,
through
Nicole.
bloody June. What happened? June.
You'll be all right once the medicine kicks in. Oh, Susan, I got you there too.
Susan, I hope you're feeling
Susan,
better.
Nicole,
I
and
hope you're
Wendy.
feeling a
Oh
lot
my
better.
God!
Gosh, yes, and Samaj. Hello, Samaj.
I come from the Star something.
The Star Republic and the tinfoil hat updates.
Alrighty, that's why you come. All right, the tinfoil hats. It's really funny because I was talking to somebody I haven't talked to in quite a while, texting last night. It was the husband and wife team who helped us in the beginning with the Celtica
Oh yeah, and
video and pitch deck and stuff like that. And they were asking, they said they had some crystals with numbers on them and they wanted to know what the numbers meant. So Anton filled him in on all that, and then I started talking about the age of Aquarius and the ticks on the clock, and I said, don't worry, I'm fashioning my tinfoil hat. And they never answered back, so I think...
Oh, you know, somebody missed. We'll have to get him over here, but he's busy doing the pagan tribal gathering, I think it is at the moment, which is about to kick off in the UK. Ashley.
Oh.
Remember him with his tinfoil hat?
His tinfoil hat with Doritos hanging on it, yeah.
Apparently it's protection from the pixies.
Bait for something, I don't know.
Pixies.
But anyway. Well, yes.
Quite.
All right. The first thing I'm going to say is I'm going to try to be a little bit serious.
Oh, no. Okay.
And I'm going to say that we are still in that place of big change and big pressure. Right? We know that all of the outer planets between this year up until mid-2026 all the outer planets are going to be changing from earth and water to air and fire. And that's part of the acceleration, right? Air fuels the fire.
Comes a firestorm.
And things are going to get pretty intense. Even more intense than they already have been.
What could possibly go wrong?
Don't say things like that. And I know I don't like to get too political because I agree that everybody is allowed to, make up their own mind and have their opinions. But what I really want to stress to people, hi Jess.
Hey, how are you, Jess?
Is to do the research to come to their conclusion or opinion, and to do this very carefully, because in my lifetime of being able to vote, votes have really shaped more than just who is the president.
It's right? Generational, or perhaps more than one generation.
Right. We're talking about, the first election I was able to vote in was Carter Reagan. And my family were a very Republican family, and they had Republican values from previous to the 80s, right? Before the Nixon generation, my parents were war babies. So they had, value in the military and value in building businesses and all the kinds of things that the Republican Party used to stand for. All I'm saying is, I think it's really, really important that we understand our vote is more than just who is president. It's going to have an effect on a lot of different government agencies and entities, right? Environmental protection is going to be part of this vote. The Supreme Court nominees are part of your vote. The Food and Drug Administration is part of your vote. And when you look at things like aspartame, how poison was that? That got put through the FDA by Rumsfeld during the Reagan administration in 14 hours.
Well,
And you just have to think about all of the things that the parties and the people that you're voting in along with that president, right? We have civil rights, we have women's rights, we have, just this all kinds of things that will affect the next generation or
beyond,
generations beyond that,
think,
right?
honestly.
Native Americans said, whatever you're doing now affects the next 7 generations. And obviously generations were shorter then. People are living longer. But what I'm trying to stress to you is I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm just telling you, do your research, right? Ask yourself some important questions about what's important to you, right? Do you want your body regulated? Do you want people to be able to have marriage rights? What are the things that are important to you? And then do your research to see who else cares about that. Because if you vote a party in that's going to destroy the things you care about, it takes generations to fix that. And we are living in the times now where Reagan, Bush, and Bush have made huge impacts upon the important branches of government.
Particularly the Supreme Court, which is very much a conservative supermajority at this moment in time. Although conservative is not the word I would use here. I would suggest it is extreme right-wing.
Right. Well, anyway. But on we go.
Rather than conserving principles, like interesting things.
Right. The Senate, yes, it does. The House seats, yes. I tell my students never to rely on a single news source. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Watch at least 2. Yes, believe it or not, Wall Street Journal is pretty reliable. Yes, it's deeper and more intense than we think. It's a very interesting time. Oh my God, yes. Women need women that need prenatal care are dying. It's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Anna, you've got to look at news sources, and news sources always have agendas. They
things
do.
like Reuters are usually
Reuters, I was going to say that. The Wall Street Journal doesn't do bad journalism, but they definitely have a right-wing slant. You could argue that the Washington Post, for example, does excellent investigative journalism, but definitely has a left-wing slant.
Right,
so,
that's what she's saying. Take 2 and find the compromise.
But if you look at somebody like Reuters, for example, Reuters have they have no political spin whatsoever, and they just state facts. Everything. So if you look at, and this is what I struggle when people hit me, I understand, you've got an opinion, but your opinion needs to have some basis of fact.
Right, it can't just, right, that's what I'm saying. Do your research, find reputable sources, do your research, and let the research help you form your opinion. Don't just go with, my friend said this, so it must be right.
Or what you get on your Facebook news feed.
Yeah. Anyway, all right.
Because that is definitely slanted, let me tell you.
I'm just, the more I see astrologically, the more I am becoming concerned about what could possibly happen. And,
yes.
you know, I had told you that Pluto was going to retrograde, because anytime we have a planet changing a sign, we do have that retrograde. So Pluto's going to retrograde back into Capricorn, and it's going to be in Capricorn for the election in November, which is on the United States charts natal Pluto.
Oh,
so it's
God.
that last, are you going to get this right or not, for the United States to finish their Pluto return, 239-year gig.
Well, Crystal Clark has just started following us. Hello, Crystal
Hello.
Clark. Thank you.
All right. So it's really important that we get things right. All right. Hi, happy Monday. Climate and environment are really important. Absolutely. When I wrote news updates for the radio, Reuters was usually my most reliable and had the most up-to-the-second updates without opinions. Absolutely. All of us boomers, when we were kids, Walter Cronkite brought you the news. And I've said this before. And it wasn't, I think this, or I read this into it, or, you know, I believe this, or it wasn't like that. It just said, this, and this happened today. And then you used that for your information.
You know what bothers me more than anything else is there's so many people play upon people's emotions, I think is the word here, rather than necessarily, you know, informing you, advising you, and inviting you to form an opinion. They try to influence you by playing on your emotions, especially, and I mean this from a place of love, for low information voters, and I mean that they don't have all the information. They've just you know what's been said, what's on their Facebook page, what's on their Truth Social feed, etc. And they're just, you know, if anything, I always say this to anybody who comes to a reading, anybody who's got a decision to make, you know, there's an acid test. If you don't know the facts, if you don't have all of the information to be able to determine the facts and do an in-depth dive to it, there's a quick litmus test you can do, which is always 100% right. And that is, are we coming at this? Are you coming at this? Are they coming at this from a place of love? Because if it's not a place of love, if it's not for the greater good, if it's not for the benefit of others, and it's about hatred and division and fear, and this is not
Controlling
true.
the masses.
This is not true. Okay, this is your emotions are being played. Your gall is being stirred, shall we say, and you're being pitched against your own people.
Well,
and
also,
that's really really bad. You know,
use your common sense and your intuition when something starts happening. Don't just be like, oh, well, that's terrible, or, oh, that's fantastic. I try to think, what's the motivation behind this? And what could the outcome of it be? What are they really trying to do? Because I've said this a bunch of times, I don't believe there's any such thing as an honest politician. You know, there's some are better than others, but you really need to try to see what the whole picture is, not just that one teeny part of the agenda. Because, like I was saying, voting for president isn't just who's the president, it's who's in making these decisions for all kinds of other things.
it's very true.
Right?
Very
That
true.
cabinet is important. Who's going to be the Secretary of State? Who's going to be leaders in different
Well, you know, our foreign policy, our
judiciary,
trade policies,
all those kind of things.
All of these things. yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to be all about politics. I'm just asking that everyone here try to help remind people, like Samaj said, feelings are not facts.
They're not. But he also goes on to speak about intuition, and intuition is hugely important. Intuition, yeah, you can get some instincts, yeah. But ignorance and arrogance are unfortunate bedfellows, but are often found together. I will say that, and it's kind of frustrating when you've got somebody who's like banging the table, going, "What about my rights? What about my rights?
Right,
what
but
about my
but I'm
rights? But
saying,
what
like,
about your responsibilities?"
Yes, use your common sense, use your intuition. What's the long goal here? Why do they want to do that? And what are they really going to gain or lose by doing that? Right?
We've got such a chatty crew today.
Well, we
Everybody's
got a
talking
big
away,
group, and it's chatty time because we got all that stuff in Gemini, don't we?
Oh, isn't it just?
More tinfoil hat stuff coming your way.
Don't you love the mercurial times?
Yes.
I do.
I actually just printed a chart today.
Oh no, she ran a chart. Run away.
I ran a chart today so I could see what's going on. Some interesting things.
A chart called Now.
It's called Now. Yeah, I just wrote it. Yeah.
It was now when it was
when
now.
I wrote
but
did
it's
it
not
around
now.
10 o'clock
That
this
was
morning.
then.
Okay. So, notice that people... Voodoo Sue, hey, a new person. I've noticed that people speaking are telling me how to think. They're trying. Yes, don't want any journalists' opinions on what happened. That's not their job. It's true. I just want to know what happened. But I wish I could trust the candidate. Yes. Common sense is a learned behavior.
Common sense is an oxymoron.
Yeah.
It's none too common, unfortunately.
Yes, find your intuition and what you know. Right.
Oh, goodness gracious me. Oh, goodness. 1,000 likes. That's better. Oh, well, that's kind of cool. Did you just give us 1,000 likes? How'd you do that?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I like that. Thank you.
All right. So again, we're not here to be political. We're just here to help people think for themselves and ask that people do their research and, don't get sucked into, well, I'm going to vote this way because my whole family says I should, or I'm going to vote the other way because I resent my family and, whatever's going on. Please, 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 let it be what is right, and not just, you're over 20.
No.
So you must feel this way, right?
No, you're over XX age, an unspecified
I got you.
age.
Okay.
So in other words, society expects societal norms, But I don't know.
Normal's just a setting on your dryer,
For
especially
us,
these
it
days.
is. For us,
All
we
right,
haven't got a bloody clue what's going on.
That chaotic tick is where we're at, right? For recapping for people who have not been here before, because there's a few new people here and on TikTok. 1960 to 2020 was 60 seconds on a clock. We're looking at that to be like 11:59 to midnight. And now we are in the second tick on the clock, which is 2020 to 2080. But anytime we shift from one age to another, just like when a planet changes from one sign to another, there's a retrograde period, a redo, rethink, reevaluate, a reorganize. Just put in front of all kinds of things. So we're in that little, let's see what's going on. And the thing for us to do is kind of look at what was happening between 1960 and 2020 to see what we're being offered to fix.
Oh, hell.
And you can see that some people are trying to change things and some people are trying to fix things. And this may also spill into your own life for some of the things that you might have done in the 70s, 80s, 90s, or 2000s, or, and you might be rethinking things for yourself, like where you live and how you live, and if you're going to change your diet or budget or whatever you're going to do.
Yes.
So it happens on a microcosmic level within ourselves and within our own way of living, and it happens on a grand scale within your community, within your country, within the world. And right now we have some really interesting stuff. Let's see, here we go. Just show up with receipts. Oh, ageism, yeah. And hello, I'm normally late until today. People always try to influence you and on what you have researched and your intuition. Chaos is all about. We need to be mindful that the chaos is outside of us and not let it in. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
This is how things happen. Just allow it to see it and let it settle. Okay, right. We are definitely living in interesting times. All right, so this month we had said we'll go back to where we started and say things are going to go very quickly because
Even
everything
quicker
is
than they've been
accelerating.
going.
Right? If anybody has a friend who's very mercurial, meaning they have a lot of Gemini or Virgo in their chart, or heavy aspects in positive ways to Mercury, you will notice that they're talking probably as quickly as I am talking now, and that they continue to talk and deliver all kinds of details and facts and ask you many, many questions inquiring minds want to know, so that they can make reports and they can jot down the details and they will never forget them.
And yes, they leave that hanging that hanging thing there where they get a breath so they can just jump back in.
So I think because of that, honestly, this next month from now until just after the new moon next month, I feel we are going to be bombarded with information and bombarded with details and really, really have to start, clamping down and taking notes and trying to figure out what's going on. So today we have Venus conjunct, meaning Venus acting as one with the sun. Venus has, we had the Cazimi of Venus. That's another weird word in Hellenistic astrology, which means that Venus has overtaken the sun. It's passed over. So Venus is now ahead of the sun at 12 degrees Gemini, and the sun is, 21 degrees Gemini, and the sun is at 20 degrees Gemini. So this means that those two planets are acting as one. The sun, life, light, the king, and Venus, the love and value. So we might have pointed out to us this week questions about what is it that we really value? What do we want to hold on to? What is important to us? And, how do we look upon ourselves and our own lives and the contribution that we may make in general. Then coming up to the sun is Mercury, because Mercury never travels very far from the sun, right? If whatever sun sign the person is, Mercury's either in that sign or within two signs either side. So today Mercury's at 15 degrees, which is a wide conjunction because that's 5 degrees apart. For inner planets, we'd like to see that get closer, more like 3 degrees, which over the course of the rest of this month it absolutely will. So we kind of have Mercury in the mix there, trying to act as one with the sun and Venus. So this means Mercury, the planet of communication, is in Gemini as well. So again, bombarded with information. And Jupiter, let's not forget, has left Taurus and moved into Gemini. Jupiter is in a loose trine now to Pluto, but since they're both outer planets, we're going to count that. So Jupiter at 3 degrees Gemini and Pluto in the 1st degree of Aquarius. So that's a pretty good trine. But this is now information that will expand things and information that will ask us, what are you going to destroy and what are you going to recreate?
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Well, sometimes you have to rip out something that's rotten to fix it. You do.
And we do have a little helper here, right? Things, when we look at astrology, we should look at it in from both sides. What's here that could create a weakness? What's here that could create a strength? And sometimes you may get both of those things from the same configuration. Right? So Mars, we look at Mars sometimes and say, oh my God, the planet of war and the planet of aggravation and the planet of blockages and fortresses and all the things.
It also can be really, if you harness that energy,
Mars
it can drive
give
things
you
forward.
The kick up the butt that you need,
Yeah.
right? It's endurance and respect and honor. There's some good things with Mars.
Exactly.
So Mars is making a square.
Squares
A challenge.
Squares are uncomfortable, aren't they?
Well, yeah, it's like running into the point on the corner of the table, right?
Ouch.
But Mars is making a challenge to Pluto. So while Jupiter is there saying, what are you going to expand? What information are you going to take to grow with?
Yes.
Mars is saying, you figured out what you value. Now what do you honor? What do you respect? And what do you need to tear down and rebuild, Pluto, in order to get to that place of respect? So for these next 3 or 4 weeks, I think this is going to happen internally and in your daily life. And I think you're going to see it happen within your tribe and your community and within your country and within the world. What is being torn down that is not respectful, and what is being rebuilt that is respectful? What energy are you being given to drive that forward? What are the things that are going to fuel you to make that challenge, right? To rise to that challenge. And then what are you going to grow to help the roots of that change take place, take hold?
Yep.
And, you know, what do you love? What do you value? And how do you want to communicate these changes? So we're in for a very interesting month.
Interesting times. That's that cursed Chinese curse, isn't it? May you live in interesting times. Oh my goodness gracious me. Gosh, well, fascinating. So expect things to get quicker. Expect things to get almost slightly crazy, and expect some disruption. But it could be disruption for good, can't it? You know, it's sometimes things need to be disrupted. Sometimes the status quo needs to be rocked a little bit to what? Are we going to grow borage and tomatoes? Well, apparently we are growing borage and tomatoes absolutely everywhere.
Those are the 2 plants I gave out in herb class yesterday.
I
I tried to give out a lot of really nice goodies to people, and I haven't really been able to do a lot of the cooking that I wanted to do because I'm tired. I mean, Thursday we read, and then we taught Reiki, and then we had we read all day Friday, and we had Circle Friday night, and then we had read all day Saturday, and we had obligation Saturday night, so I really didn't get much ready for herb class. But I have been growing little plant familiars for peeps. So
Yep. And don't worry if you were away. Those watching that I know couldn't make it for herb class. We do have your herbs, so there. And thank you for the likes on the TikTok. So if you're looking for a reading on the TikTok, because we're presently going to start doing readings for people, we would ask that you throw us a gift, and we've got a goal today: a panther claws. So throw us a panther claw. We like them.
So if they throw us a panther claw, we'll do a reading.
There you go. How's that? That works like sounds like a plan.
All right, because we have a long list.
We do. We have a long list, and I think there's all
people
people
who are channel members on YouTube.
We should probably start. Yeah, because if you're a channel member, you also get readings, don't you? Yeah. Ha! That's the fun thing about. You better light the lighty
I'm gonna here. Then you shuffle.
I can't do everything.
I can't do everything.
I can't do everything. I found a card. Look. Oh, Scorpio. Anyway, moving on. These are too big to shuffle. I was fancied like just a hugely unfeasibly large deck of cards would be really good.
My time was doing so well until Emmett ate it. I can't help that though.
Oh, yeah, no, he eats everything.
He ate my zinnias.
So we got this one solitary zinnia, and she thought, oh, I would love to put that. She put it in a lovely little vase.
Well, because
and
I knew
that
the rabbit, groundhog, or whatever else has been eating everything in the garden would eat that zinnia because it ate all the others. Yes. So I said, I'll bring it in to enjoy it, and Emmett ate it.
So I'm imagining probably our very first person was
Sean,
because he was probably here at 10. So. All right, who's first for Sean? Is it me? You
go for it.
Me go
first for Sean, and he has
the Page of Swords.
Oh.
Now is the time. The time for action. But what? That's the thing. So I think you could use a little sort of inspired direction right now. You feel a lot of pent up energy, and you feel this need that you need to just get up and get on with it. But you're not totally clued in as to exactly what it is you're supposed to be getting on with. But we know we need to be getting on with something. So just bloody get on with it then. But what?
No, I feel like this is a real.
Cutting through the crap.
Stand up and cut through the crap.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think you're going to take this these few weeks of redo, reassess, reevaluate, reorganize, whatever, I think you're really going to take that to heart. He's going to skip the ads for us. I think you're really going to take that to heart, and you're going to harness that energy of Mars and give yourself the kick up the butt that you've been wanting to give yourself, and make some changes. And sometimes the easiest way to make the change is small little bits at a time, right? In the beginning of the year, we had this talk about cleansing and clearing, and I said, you can't do your whole entire house in 1 minute. I said, but just do a drawer, and then you do another drawer, and then you do another drawer. So whatever it is you're looking at, whether it's financial or physical well-being or whatever it is, do it a step at a time. Pay off one debt, then pay off the next debt, pay off the next debt, or change something out of your diet that is not good for you, and then after you get used to that, take the next thing and take the next thing, and you'll get there.
Look not to the enormity of the task, but the individual parts.
Little bits at a time. All right, Gilda!
Gilda!
Page of Wands. All right.
Second page.
Page. Information.
We're all on a new page. Let's be on a new page.
All right. Gilda. You see that feather in your cap. It's a lot kind of like the fool's energy, where he just knows. So allowing the past to inform your future isn't a bad thing, right? We know if we touch the stove and got burned, we probably don't want to touch the stove again until we make adjustments, right? So I'm not saying that you couldn't give someone a little bit of credence or benefit of the doubt, but you want to turn the flame off before you burn yourself again. So learning lessons from the past isn't holding the past against your future.
Unless you drag it forwards. There is always that propensity, things are going well, expecting the other shoe to drop kind of thing. That's so maybe just you're a lot smarter than you think you are. So just spend a little time trusting in yourself here, and do a little bit of personal reflection, because this card is very much like looking out to see in, if that makes any sense at all. It's like when we try to get to know ourselves, we almost inevitably get in our own way, and it's like, look at this beautiful forest. What forest? I've got this huge tree in front of me. Yeah. So if you have to step outside the forest to get a clearer perspective, and then when you go back into the forest, everything's changed. The forest hasn't changed at all, but your perception of it has. So you kind of need to think outside of yourself to truly get to know yourself, and embrace all you are and all of your wonderful attributes. They're not weaknesses, they're not failures, they're just like learn how to speak you, and it's going to be transformative. I think this is very much about, internal reflection for me, this card.
Yep. All right, you're first for Savannah.
That
was Gilda's card. This is Savannah's card.
Savannah.
Ooh.
Hey. Lisa and I have exactly the same opinion of this card. This is, life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. Because here we have this army at camp, and the brigadier general in the back of the shots back here, like
they're coming. They're coming.
He's giving his orders, the briefing. Tomorrow, men. It's going to be the most magnificent military command in the history of military campaigns, and we'll all be honoured about this, and there'll be paintings and all that. Meanwhile, this urchin's nicking all the swords. So come tomorrow morning, this isn't going to be a particularly effective fighting force. They're just going to have to stamp their feet and go, "You're very naughty," So pay attention to what's going on. Do what the steps that are necessary. Don't allow somebody to just walk off with what it is that you're trying to accomplish because you forgot a little detail, all right?
Right. I am going to go the army thing on here and say, sometimes when there is so much communication, things get a little garbled up. So I think the reason that you're getting this sword, which is a challenge, is so that you take steps with your communication, right? So you tell the person what the plan is. You ask them to repeat to you what the plan is. Then you tell them one more time what the plan is. Kind of like triple checking so that things don't get screwed up. And I think that'll be your key to success. The key to success is disarming miscommunications. All right.
Send reinforcements. We're going to advance. Send 3 and 4 pence. We're going to advance.
Well, that makes sense to you, but okay. I am getting a card for Carol. Boop.
Oh, hello, Carol.
Oh,
Carol. I didn't even spot Carol. Oh, Carol, that's a song.
Oh, Carol.
Stop it.
Carol.
Stop it.
Look at this.
Look at it.
You've got 2 piles of prosperity. So I think this has to do with 2 layers of family. Your blood family and your spiritual family. And it looks to me like you are in a very good space where you're kind of taking back your sovereignty, or your, I don't want to use the word control because it's not really a nice word, but you're taking back your place as kind of head of these things, being up there and being able to rule.
Yeah, I think the word Lisa was looking for is you kick Gussie the ground dog off of your throne, and you can be properly seated now. You know. so yes, do allow yourself back into that. Yeah, there's been slow progress, but there's been progress nonetheless. So it's all good. It's okay to enjoy the fruits of your labours. And you've done an awful lot for an awful lot of people for a very, very long time. It's okay to accept some of the stuff that's being offered back to you, you know, and enjoy. That's the important thing, you know. Enjoy those beautiful moments, because they're fantastic, you know. That's my 2 cents anyway.
All these people on TikTok have all these romantic issues.
I don't know. Well, throw us, share our thing, like us, and we're looking for Panther Claws today. So send us one. We set a goal for Panther Claws. You must know what a Panther Claw is. We like them because we're cat people.
I can't stand TikTok.
Oh, come on, stop it!
You're first
how
for
to make
Geraldine.
Everybody upset.
Sorry.
That's it.
Well, I just don't get it. I'm too old.
Geraldine.
Ooh.
Geraldine, the lovers. This is interesting because I see this as almost like for you a revitalization time. I think you're coming back into your prime, if that makes sense to you. Because I think you've been knocked off your game sideways a little bit. You've been like, you know, things just didn't flow right. Things were just awkward and difficult, but I think you really are finding your place in the sun now, and you are like the inquisitive levels starting to rise again. You want to know about stuff. You want to go places. You want to see things. You want to meet people. You want to laugh, you know. And this is good. So I see this as very much a restorative thing for you. And I think you're in a great place of healing and really coming back into your prime.
Well, it's interesting that this is the Gemini card. So these kind of things are probably really prominent, right? These communications and details and all this kind of things. And I know Geraldine is ruled by Mercury. She's a Virgo. But what I'm going to say to you, Geraldine, is this card features Raphael, which is God's healer. So the Adam and Eve represent life and knowledge. And I feel like you are in a very healing space. Healing with getting your life back and healing with restoring your knowledge. So I think this is going to be an excellent week for you.
So yeah, apparently we agree for once.
I am first for Cass.
Always.
All right, where is Cass's card? It's way...
Logan sent us something to make the lights flash, and they didn't. But Logan, thank you for that.
Maybe the lights are screwed up again. Cass!
Oh,
goodness, Cass, look at this.
Oh no.
I kind of feel like, Cass, I feel like this is a should I, shouldn't I? Could I? Would I? I don't know. So, this card kind of says to us opinions are like buttholes, everybody has one.
Indeed.
But I almost feel like this is fighting with yourself about different aspects of things. I think you've gotten to a place where you can be a great best friend to yourself. So you're saying, well, if I was my own best friend, I would advise, this and that. Or if I was my own best friend, I would tell her to do this, or not do that. So I think for you, getting past some of that inner fighting with yourself is important.
Yeah, sometimes we do find ourselves conflicted, Cass, and it can be tricky, especially when we're... Look, go back to that acid test question. If you were watching earlier, which I'm sure you must have been, we said, that acid test, if you're looking to determine what is the truthful or right and proper way of acting here, am I, whatever, coming at this from a place of love? And that can be a great conflict resolution thing. And it's really interesting for somebody who is actively engaged in the process of waging war. Those words from Ben de Gaidran, Avor Ben byd bont. He, they, she who would be a leader must first be a bridge. So it's about diffusing arguments by listening and also coming at it from a place of love. Fear is the thing that really upsets people most, and fear is the thing that begets hatred. But love can vanquish fear always. So just remember that. All right, especially in your role of matriarch, so to speak.
You're first for Logan.
Logan, and thank you for the super chat, Logan. I'm sorry the lights didn't flash. I don't know why.
Ooh.
Speaking of, I realised this card, and it always did my head in, because in terms of magical timing, the sun, this represents 0 degrees Aries, or the vernal equinox, when the greening comes back in the northern hemisphere. And yet, what's pictured on this card is Mabon ap Modron, which refers to the autumnal equinox, if you will. But then again, without those equinoxes, we also have the wall behind them. And that wall is the solstices. The solstices. So this speaks of the journey of the sun between the two walls, the two tropics, if you will, when it reaches its limit.
Well, it's very much
a
cyclical card, isn't it?
It is
a story of the divine prisoner, the exalted prisoner.
Well, which we all are when we are incarnate upon this earth. But there is great promise here, and there's great opportunity for moving forward, embracing new challenge, and coming at it from a place of almost youthful innocence, if that makes sense.
I sometimes see this card in a reading as a card of good karma, or working through karma. And I usually point out to people that even though this is a tiny baby, they have a really big blanket of strength, a big orange blanket of strength. So sometimes there are challenges with trying to understand why particular things have happened to you or have not happened to you within an incarnation, but sometimes it is the karma that you agreed to or chose to work through. So use your strength and do things to the best of your ability, and you'll be okay. It's only when you don't try that you don't succeed.
Indeed.
All right, I'm first.
There is no try, there is
Anna.
merely do or do not. All right. That's Yoda there, isn't it? Yoda.
There is no try, there's do or do not.
Gosh, there's lots and lots of people joining us on the Talk of Tick. Hello, welcome, send us a panther claw, and we'll do your reading. Putting it bluntly. All right.
Anna!
Oh.
Anna, some kind of contract or something. This is earned money, not winning the lottery. But I feel like somebody's like going to put their money where their mouth is. And something really positive is happening financially.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. I love this card. It is about if you're willing, if you are willing to have the courage, if you're willing to have the heart, if you're willing to have the hoil, you know, because it's all about what's in here. If you're willing to do that and get your ass out your comfort zone,
step up to the challenge
and blaze your own path where there is no path there before, you have to break some ground here. You're going to do astonishingly well with it, but you've got to have the hoil, the courage to step out of your
This isn't just a windfall for no reason. This is a payout for effort and energy that you've put in.
But, you know, it's not without challenge, but it's good challenge. Per arda ad astra, as they say in the RAF. Through adversity to the stars. But it's not really adversity.
No,
it's just work. It's work and courage to actually, you know,
well, I know she's working on some stuff, and I know she's putting the effort and energy in. And I just feel like there's going to be some really good news regarding payment for that energy.
Cool.
Your first for Samaj.
Samaj. Why do I always have to say that with Sean Connery's accent?
Book. Ooh,
choices, decisions, choices. Don't overthink it. Yeah, there's 101 possible ways you can go. But in the words of Yoda again, choose you must. However, just be aware that not everything is exactly as it seems, nor is it necessarily otherwise. But also rest assured that this is not a single choice scenario. This is not, this is what I've got to do and this is the determination of my life going forwards. Because we're not in that kind of fire and forget scenario. We're in the test and adjust. So we're making continual adjustments as we go. And if you're prepared to, you must initiate something. You know, you've got to choose you must. So make your initiation and then see how it's going and, you know, make what adjustments are necessary.
I have never thought about this before, but this card being the number 7, I think for you today, Samaj, this is relating to the chakras.
Interesting.
And that some are greatly defended and some are maybe a little bit out of kilter. So I know you know about chakras. Maybe you want to do a chakra balancing or do some Reiki on your chakras, and bring yourself back to a feeling of stability. I think some things are going really, really well and other things are feeling a little sketchy to you, and I think it may have to do with some chakras being out of balance.
So Eden, I saw your message go by on the Talk of Tech. These are the regular Rider Waite tarot, but they're the giant version. They're huge, so you know they're easy to see, and we use them as a teaching aid. I say when we do teach, although Lisa does way more of that than me. Anyway, moving on. What have we got?
I'm first for Laura.
Laura, hello,
right,
Laura.
This one. Oh, Laura. This one jumped right out. I want you to look really closely because their fingers are crossed here. Like, I'm not really dead. I think you've been pretty beat up. And I think you've taken a lot from a lot of people. And it's interesting when we were saying, you know, if you don't try, that's when you fail. And you said calling all of us out. I want you to recognize that you are not done. You are not trapped. You are not bound. Right? The dark sky is giving way to sunrise. The guy is wearing really strong colors. I think you just need to take that deep breath and figure out how to release the blows, right? The heartache, the betrayal, the loss, whatever it is that you've been working on. Really, really try to get it processed so that you can enjoy the new horizons, the new sunlight.
So I don't know. I'm going to have to give you a bit of a talking to here, Laura, because I think sometimes you actually set yourself up for failure. You self-sabotage. And I think, you expect things to be difficult, and you've got the why me kind of like, why does everything have to be so chuffing hard? Why can't I get a break? Why can't I get a break? You know what? You can. You just got to look at it differently. Where some see, unbelievable challenge, others see unbelievable opportunity. And if you change your focus, from what went wrong to, okay, how can I make this right? Because honestly, you can fix anything but dead, and you ain't dead. You ain't dead. You're still kicking. So come back, straighten your crown, dust yourself off, have a cup of tea, and let's get back in the saddle, because it's important. Your story's not finished, girl. Your story's not finished. This is not the end of you. This is not you wiped out, never to be thought of ever again. Come on, get on with it.
You're first for Susan.
Susan! Hope you're feeling better, Susan. I really do.
She said she was, yeah.
Good. Oh, juggle. Interestingly enough, I'm going to call you out on this and say you have a propensity to thrive on chaos.
Susan, yeah.
So whilst that may be interesting, and you like to be noticed, you like to be, look at me, I'm juggling, and my pants are on fire and all that fun stuff. But it's okay. I think, honestly, if you spent a little time in fire prevention, you would spend a lot less time putting out fires. Maybe rethink how you go about things in a fun. This is a great time. You've got those astrological energies, as we're talking about.
Redo, reorganize.
And remove. If there is something that is, blocking you or is causing you problems, remove it. Work your way around it. It's remove that obstacle. Because whilst you're doing, obviously you're doing, and you're doing very busy, but are you moving forwards? so that's my 2 cents anyway.
Yeah, I feel like there's an opportunity for a good solid second income, but again, it is about feeling out how you can organize your time and organize your schedule. And, again, like I was saying to Sean, sometimes these things are not whoosh all at once. Sometimes we have to say, okay, I need to consolidate to one calendar. And I'm going to look at this calendar, and I'm going to look at what I have the next 2 or 3 months. And I'm going to make sure that I write things down on the day I have to be somewhere, and the day I have to pack for that, and the day I have to travel, and just kind of put like a fine-tuning thing to get organized with your schedule. Then you see, okay, these are available times that I could do something else that I want to do. And just try not to be overwhelmed or tsunamied by the waves, right? But use that wave to ride it and propel you forward. I think this is a great card for prosperity, but I think you have to use your magic to get yourself organized. Okay.
Organisational fun, isn't it? Isn't it fun?
Right.
Who we got now?
I'm first for Nicole.
Nicole. Hello, Nicole.
Do, 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 do.
Scooby-Doo-Doo. Do-do-do-do-do.
Celebrate good times.
Oh, excuse me.
What's happening here?
No, we've been an hour, so I have to fix this. Just give me a second.
We haven't been an hour.
We have. Oh, stop.
Do you need me to move the candles so
Possibly. I don't know. Let's keep talking.
All right, Nicole.
There you go.
Celebration. Rising to the occasion.
Singe.
Toasting. Lifting a glass and feeling like you have got in where you want to be. I know that you were talking yesterday about some milestones or some things that you had put in place that are going to help you get to the place where you want to be able to lift your glass. And I think it's okay now to take a deep breath and recognize that you are moving forward from things. And as you do, the other things will also come to the party, right? Mind, body, spirit. I've gotten my muggle life in order, and my physical life's going to come in order, and then I can celebrate my spiritual life.
Tell your friends. How cool is that? And yes, do tell your friends, actually, in this instance. Good friendships are wonderful things. This is important. I mean, all work and no play makes Jack a very dull boy, as well you know. So it's okay to just once in a while, have a little bit of a celebration. We're still, and I mean, we meet people still on a daily basis that have come from that place of deep insular fear, the isolation that we all went through in the pandemic. It's still, there's some emotional scarring that is still prevalent there. So yeah, it's not a novel disease anymore. Okay, that doesn't mean it's not dangerous and that you shouldn't, take proper precautions where appropriate. But we're not in that existential crisis anymore. We've moved from that. So allow yourself to perhaps get more back in touch with being alive, frankly. Being alive, being sociable, interacting with people.
Definitely time to come out of your shell, right?
Interacting with people, yes, yeah. It's so interesting because, and I'm going to go slightly sideways here, but it's a point. When Lisa and I were working, we had the great pleasure of working the last 4 days straight, which was fantastic. So, but it's so interesting. So many people just have got, we're just going to order it online. I'm just going to order it online. I want it here. Now. I don't want to go and talk to.
This
anybody.
Isn't necessarily Nicole's reading now. He's talking to everybody.
No, I'm talking to everybody. But it is so nice. What you can't get any kind of human interaction on Amazon. You just won't get one. Yeah, you can order your stuff and it's going to get there
in a day or two. And
whatever. But when people come in and want to buy a tarot deck from us, we'll talk about the history of Pamela Coleman Smith and how the tarot came about.
Or help them to find the one that has a connection to them.
Or just laugh. Or just laugh. Because human interaction is nice. There's so many people, including the troll on TikTok right now, that like to spread hatred and vitriol. It doesn't work. Doesn't work. We're a place of love, we're a place of safety, and we care for people in our store. And it's great when people come in and just feel like the store, if you're there, the store gives you a big old hug. So it's wonderful. Who we got next?
You're first for Jess.
Oh, Jess, I got to say, I saw the pictures of your place. What a fantastic job.
It looks beautiful.
Man, did I know you you fought for that. That was very, 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 very difficult. But,
intense time.
It's the old adage of even a kick up the ass is a step forwards.
Well, that's using that Mars energy to make the changes.
So it looks beautiful. And you're going to love this card. It looks beautiful. And if we get chance, we'll definitely come and visit your place because I'd love to. We just got to get some time off for good behaviour. So anyway, Queen of Pentacles, nurture is the thing. Love is the thing, and I think you've done what you've done with your business now, with bringing it all together with such beauty and such nurture and such care and really connecting with the earth. I see this as being, it's going to pay off in spade loads, putting it bluntly.
Right.
Putting it bluntly.
This card in Christopher Hughes' deck is the Dawn, D-O-N, and that is like the mother of Earth. And I feel like you're really giving the space in life now to use all that you have learned about nature, the nature of things, the movement of things, the connection of things. And I feel like this is just a great prosperity card. When you look, she's kind of seated in the glyph of Saturn, right?
I never noticed
Which is grounding and connecting and understanding nature. Well, you see the goats are Capricorn, which is a sign ruled by Saturn. And Capricorn is being able to put the money in the bank. So I feel like this is a great, great foreteller of prosperity and being in the right place. You know, there's something about being in the right place, and that shift, I think, has put you there.
Who made a new challenge? I made a new challenge thanks to your Facebook page to find things, get in Amazon in a store. It's a fun game, but, you know...
Well, absolutely. If Savannah, if you go onto Amazon to find what it is you want, and then you see where it's from, meaning the company, and then you go to that company's website, it gives the company an actual payment for their item.
Well, yeah. I mean...
Amazon makes from both sides, just like the credit card companies do. You know, a couple of people had said to me, "Oh, you're putting up these things about credit cards, and you're going to screw your business by not taking credit cards." And I said, "We take credit cards, and we do not put the fees for that on our customers, right? In other words, you see some places that are like, oh, $3 if you pay cash, $4 if you pay by credit card. We don't do that. We're going to pay our credit card fees. But truthfully, if you can pay cash because you could buy it local, then that is actually giving the person who's running that business the real money that they need to replace that item. When you, again, do your research, you can see that the banks are getting like $2 for every $10 spent.
It's true. It's true.
Right? Because they're getting it from the merchant and the merchant fees and the rent the credit card machine, all that BS. And if you don't pay your credit card balance at the end of the month, they're getting it again from you. So, yeah, cash is a good thing,
Cash helps,
but,
yeah.
you know.
Yes, we are married. Can you tell?
What?
Somebody Bree on the TikTok says, "Are you two married?" No, she's just my mistress.
Oh, dear goddess. All right.
I love it.
Jessica, thank you. Literally didn't realize I'm in the Amazon habit.
You're not spamming chat, Helena. We're here to talk. This is a community. This is what we do.
It was Helena, not Savannah. You said it was Savannah. It's Helena that's doing the Amazon challenge.
Yeah. I did say hello.
Oh, sorry. Haha, sorry. Okay.
Sorry, you never listen to me. It's fine.
I never listen to you.
Yeah.
All right, so
speaking of,
who's first this time? I forget.
I think it's you, because I think
I'm
I
first,
went
and it's Helena.
I wish I knew what we were doing.
Well, I couldn't choose between these two cards. This is the Aquarian one, so we'll just leave that one.
Okay.
Happiness. Getting
yes.
there. Reaching a place where you can exhale and rejoice. I really still feel like you're going to work out a way to move. And I think you might move into a space that's like a mother-daughter house, where there's a family and then a smaller apartment where you'll have the privacy that you need.
This card doesn't need any description. It says it all. It says it all. This is the absolute ideal outcome, is it not? So, you know, just keep your eye on the prize. Know what good looks like, and you will steer automatically towards it. It's like,
use those good manifesting words. I deserve to be happy.
It's coming together. It's coming together. Look at this. Look at this. How awesome is this? So just, you know, have at it, and it's really, 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 really going to work for you. Stop with the worrying. Okay, the worrying is the manifestation in reverse. Just check yourself there. You know, check your worry at the door, and check yourself. Bring yourself back to a place of I see myself in this environment. I see myself in this apartment. I see myself in this job. You know, see it. Steer towards it. It happens automatically. What you look at, you're going to drive towards. You are. Don't drive off the road.
All right, card of the week.
Okay, I'm headed for a walk out in nature today. Well, there you go. And why not?
Beautiful day.
that's just the one you put. Shuffle them up. Shuffle them up. We could have that one for the card of the week, but I can't even get them back in now. She's broke the cards.
Me.
Can I follow you guys? Of course you can follow us. You know how to do that. Follow us. Tell your
If you
friends
become
about
a
us.
member on YouTube, you get the free reading every Monday.
If you want to read in on the ticker top real quick, throw us a panther claw. Otherwise, we're like done. We're 5 minutes over. We only do this for
we got
an hour.
stuff to do.
Stuff. We got stuff to do. What?
Card of the week. I keep pulling 2 cards today. It's really odd. All right. Card of the week.
Cards of the week.
Look, don't give in to the crazy people who are trying to tell you all kinds of different things. And meditate and outfox the foxes.
Yeah, quiet reflection. Sometimes, and discernment. I think it's discernment. Not all of the information that you are receiving right now may be entirely accurate. So spend some time on quiet reflection. As we started out, I love it when it comes back full circle, because we started about where are you getting your news? Where are you getting your information? So look at many sources. Look at the sources of those sources. Look if those sources themselves have an agenda. All right. Use that to discern and filter out some of the static that's flying around and
Outfox the foxes.
and people wanting to give you a bum steer, and playing on your emotions and trying to shove you places where you really don't want to be. So quiet discernment, internal reflection, and filter the crap. Outfox the foxes.
Outfox those foxes.
Outfox those foxes. If you know what I mean.
All right, everybody, on that note.
It's awesome. Thank you so much. We aim to do this every Monday, so make a date in your diary and hook up with us
If you
again.
TikTokers have YouTube and you want to go over there, you can see all kinds of other really cool videos that we put up.
All right then, we're gonna say ta-ra now.
Peace.
I'll try not to singe
It's
myself.
going to be a wild week. Catch you on Monday. Bye.
Get your tinfoil hats out.
Oh, yes.
Bye. See ya.
Boop, boop, boop.
I'm trying. Got it.
All right. Bye, people.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.